Time? Time, it's the one thing every single one of us is given in equal measure, yet it's the one thing we treat like it's unlimited. We act like it renews itself every morning, like it's guaranteed, like it's ours to burn without consequence. But the truth is, time is the most fragile, most precious, most unforgiving currency we will ever hold. And every moment we waste is a moment we will never get back. You can earn money again. You can rebuild your health. You can regain strength. But time, once it's gone forever. That's why today, right now, in this moment, you need to stop wasting time. You see, most people aren't defeated by lack of talent. They're not defeated by lack of opportunity. They're defeated by lack of urgency. They keep waiting for the right moment, the perfect day, for the better situation. They tell themselves they'll start when things settle down. They'll begin when they feel motivated. They'll change when life gives them a sign. But life already gave you the sign. It's called time, and it's ticking. Every day, every hour, every second, you're either moving toward your purpose or drifting further away from it. There's a dangerous comfort in delay, the comfort of later. Later feels safey, later feels easy, later feels harmless. But later is a liar. Later is the thief that steals dreams in silence. Later is the graveyard where ambition goes to die. You keep saying later. And before you know it, the years have passed, the chances have faded, the fire you once had has dimmed, and you're left wondering how you got so far from the life you imagined. If you want something, if you believe in something, if something inside you is calling for more, then stop giving your time to excuses. Stop giving your time to fear. Stop giving your time to distractions that add nothing to your future. You've got to understand something: the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. Potential is beautiful. Potential is powerful. But potential without action is wasted time. You can dream all day. You can plan all month. You can think all year, but nothing, absolutely nothing, will move until you do. Action is the bridge between the life you want and the life you're living. And that bridge is built one choice, one decision, one disciplined moment at a time. Look at your life right now. Really look. How much time have you given away to things that don't matter? How many hours have you spent scrolling, comparing, complaining, doubting, hesitating? How many days have slipped through your fingers because you were too afraid to start, too distracted to focus, too comfortable to grow? You owe yourself more than that. You owe your future more than that. You owe that person inside you, the one who still believes, still hopes, still wants to rise, more than that. You must protect your time like your life depends on it, because it does. The dream you have, the one you don't tell anyone about, that dream is begging for your time. The skill you've been ignoring, the goal you've been postponing, the work you've been avoiding, all of it is sitting there waiting for you to finally take it seriously. And it's not going to build itself. It's not going to rise on its own. You can't microwave success. You can't download discipline. You can't outsource effort. You've got to show up. You've got to commit. You've got to fight for it every single day. And listen, it won't be easy. It won't be comfortable. Growth never is. Discipline never is. Sacrifice never is. But wasting time, that's easy. Anyone can waste time. Anyone can drift. Anyone can stay stuck. It takes zero courage to procrastinate. It takes zero strength to postpone your destiny. But it takes everything: your heart, your will, your hunger, to stop wasting time and start becoming who you were meant to be. You've got to choose which pain you want: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One lasts minutes. The other lasts a lifetime. Some of you are one decision away from a completely different life. 1 hour of focused work away from a breakthrough. One step of courage away from a new chapter. But you keep waiting. You keep hesitating. You keep telling yourself you're not ready. You keep believing the lie that you have more time. Let me tell you something. Tomorrow isn't promised. Next year isn't guaranteed. The clock is ticking whether you move or not, so move. Take the step, start the work. Make the call, write the page. Build the habit, change the direction. Get serious about your time, because your time is what shapes your story. When you start valuing your time, everything in your life begins to shift. Your standards rise, your focus sharpens, your circle changes, your actions align with your purpose. You stop entertaining negativity, distraction, and doubt because you no longer have time to waste on things that drain you. You begin to understand that your time is a gift and you protect it with everything you've got. That's when momentum shows up. That's when breakthroughs happen. That's when the world around you begins to reflect the work within you. Time is the currency of your character. How you spend it tells the truth of who you are, not who you say you want to be. So if you want a stronger future, give your time to growth. If you want a better life, give your time to discipline. If you want to rise, give your time to the things that lift you. Stop letting the hours slip away to things that don't build you. Stop letting your days be directed by fear and distraction. Stand up and take ownership of your time. Choose to build instead of waste. Choose to act instead of delay. Choose to rise instead of drift. You don't need more time. You need more intention with the time you already have. You need to wake up every day and decide that your purpose is worth more than your comfort, that your dream is worth more than your distraction, that your future is worth more than your excuses. You need to live like your time matters, because it does. More than you know. The clock is still ticking. The question is, are you? Time is the only resource that every human being receives in the exact same amount each day. Yet we treat it as if it's infinite, as if tomorrow will always be waiting for us. The truth is, time is the most valuable currency we will ever hold, and the tragedy is how easily we let it slip through our fingers. When you waste time, you're not just losing minutes or hours. You're losing pieces of your life you can never retrieve. People often believe that regret comes from failure, but more often, regret comes from never trying, from postponing dreams until they decay, from delaying important steps until opportunity quietly slips away. Time is unforgiving because it doesn't pause for fear. It doesn't wait for motivation, and it doesn't give you a discount because you're tired, uncertain, or distracted. Every second spent on something meaningless is a second stolen from the life you could have lived. Most people underestimate the damage wasted time does, not because it hurts immediately, but because it hurts eventually. It creeps in slowly. You spend a day doing nothing meaningful. No big deal. A week passes, still no movement, still feels harmless. But then months go by, and the gap between where you are and where you want to be grows wider. Years pass, and you start to feel the weight of what you could have done, what you should have done, what you convinced yourself you would do later. That's the silent cost of wasted time. It doesn't punish you today, it punishes the future you, the one who has to live with the consequences of your inaction. Time is precious because it defines your opportunities. Every great achievement, every transformation, every success story is built on deliberate moments of focused time. And every unrealized dream is buried under moments that were wasted. When you choose distraction over discipline, comfort over progress, procrastination over purpose, you are making a trade. You are exchanging your future for temporary ease. You are choosing the path of least resistance. But that path always leads to the same destination: regret. You won't remember the hours you spent scrolling, doubting yourself, being scared to start. But you will absolutely remember the things you never attempted, the goals you abandoned, and the potential you left untouched. Wasting time isn't always loud. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it disguises itself as taking a break when you've already rested enough. Sometimes it looks like planning, researching, preparing, yet you never actually begin. Sometimes it looks like waiting for better conditions, for the perfect mood, for the right moment. But time doesn't work like that. It doesn't bend to your comfort. It doesn't care if you're not ready. It moves forward constantly, relentlessly, and if you're not moving with it, you're falling behind. The world rewards those who honor their time. It rewards those who act, who step forward even when they feel unsure, who value every moment as a chance to build something meaningful. When you waste time, you shrink your future. You limit what you can experience, who you can become, the impact you could make. Every hour could be an investment into your growth, your skills, your purpose, your relationships, your character. But wasted time yields nothing. It leaves you empty-handed. And the danger is that you get comfortable with it. You get used to drifting. You get used to repeating unproductive days. You get used to telling yourself there's still plenty of time left. But that's an illusion, because the truth is, you don't know how much time you have. None of us do. And that reality alone should be enough to ignite urgency inside you. Imagine what your life could look like if you stopped wasting time. Imagine the progress you could make in a year of disciplined effort. Imagine the skills you could master, the strength you could build, the habits you could develop, the opportunities you could create. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can achieve in a year. A year is powerful if it's filled with consistent, intentional action. But it starts with how you spend this hour, this day, this moment. Every time you choose to value your time, you raise your standards. You stop entertaining meaningless distractions. You stop giving energy to people who drain you. You stop living passively. You start taking ownership. You start making decisions that serve your growth. You start recognizing that your time is connected to your destiny. And with that recognition comes power. The power to shape your life instead of drifting through it. The power to turn intention into action, dreams into reality, potential into achievement. Time is not just hours on a clock. It's the building material of your entire life. How you spend it determines the shape of your future, the measure of your success, the depth of your impact. If you waste it, you weaken your foundation. If you honor it, you strengthen every part of who you are and who you can become. There is no greater investment than investing your time wisely. There is no greater loss than giving it away carelessly. Stop wasting time, because your life is happening right now, not later, not someday. Right now. Every moment matters. Every choice counts. Every day is a chance to rewrite your story. And the time you have left is far too valuable to spend on anything that doesn't push you forward. Action is the force that turns invisible dreams into visible reality, yet it is the very step most people avoid. They wait for clarity, confidence, or the perfect moment, not realizing that action is what creates clarity, builds confidence, and shapes the perfect moment. Nothing in your life will shift until you decide to move. Discipline is not something you find lying around. It's something you build through consistent choices. You don't wake up one day suddenly transformed. You evolve through repeated action, even on the days you don't feel inspired. That's why urgency matters. Without urgency, the dream stays a dream, the goal stays on paper, and the life you want stays just out of reach. Dreams are powerful, but dreams alone do nothing. They sit inside your mind waiting for you to breathe life into them, waiting for your hands to get involved, waiting for your decisions to open the doors. A dream without action becomes a burden, something you carry around, thinking about constantly, wishing for deeply, yet never experiencing. Action frees you from that burden. Action pulls the dream out of your imagination and starts shaping it in the real world. Every step might feel small, but small steps compound into something significant when you take them consistently. Success is never the result of a single dramatic moment. It's the result of thousands of disciplined, unglamorous actions repeated over time. The biggest enemy of progress isn't failure, it's hesitation. People hesitate because they fear mistakes, but mistakes are not the problem. Hesitation is. You can correct a mistake, learn from it, grow from it, and become stronger because of it. But you can't correct inaction. You can't improve something you never started. You can't refine something that doesn't exist. Action gives you feedback, direction, momentum. Hesitation gives you nothing but anxiety and regret. Momentum is built by doing something today, not thinking about it, not planning it endlessly, but actually taking the step, no matter how small. To change your life, you have to understand that discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first days are the hardest because you're breaking old patterns and building new ones. You're fighting the pull of comfort and the temptation of distraction. But once you push through that resistance, you begin to build a rhythm. Your habits shift. Your mindset sharpens. Your standards rise. You begin to crave progress instead of comfort. That's the power of disciplined action. It changes not only what you achieve, but who you become in the process. Urgency is what keeps you from drifting. Urgency reminds you that life is happening now, that opportunities don't stay on the shelf forever, that the window won't always be open. Too many people act like time is something they own instead of something they borrow. They assume there will always be a second chance, always a next year, always another opportunity. But life doesn't guarantee that. Urgency is about respecting the moment you're in, realizing its value and choosing to use it instead of wasting it. When you live with urgency, you stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop giving your fears authority. You stop letting your feelings dictate your actions. There is a powerful shift that happens when you commit to action. You begin to see progress, even if it's small. That progress fuels belief. That belief fuels more action. And before you know it, you've created a cycle of growth that becomes almost unstoppable. The hardest part is the beginning. The hardest part is choosing to act when you're tired, choosing to focus when you're distracted, choosing to move when you feel stuck. But once you push through that moment, everything changes. You realize that the limitations you thought were holding you back were mostly in your mind. You realize that the fear you felt was simply a barrier waiting for you to walk through it. You realize that your potential expands every time you show up. Even the most talented people accomplish nothing without action. Talent without effort is wasted potential. Vision without execution is wasted imagination. Desire without discipline is wasted energy. But consistent action, whether you feel ready or not, turns your desire into development, your talent into results, your vision into achievement. The person who wins is not the one who has the most talent, the most resources, or the most advantages. It's the one who shows up every day and does the work. The one who chooses discipline over comfort. The one who understands that progress requires pressure, sacrifice, and persistence. Action doesn't always feel good. Discipline doesn't always feel natural. But comfort is the silent killer of ambition. If you only move when you feel motivated, you will live a life controlled by your mood instead of your mission. Motivation is temporary, unpredictable, inconsistent. Action and discipline build a foundation that doesn't rely on inspiration. They give you the structure, the habits, and the consistency needed to create real change. You may not see the results immediately, but every moment of disciplined work is adding weight to your future success. Your life will only rise as high as the actions you take. If you want a stronger future, you have to build strong habits. If you want a better life, you have to make better choices. If you want transformation, you must be willing to move even when conditions aren't perfect. The breakthrough you're waiting for won't show up out of nowhere. It will appear when your effort meets opportunity. And the only way to catch opportunity is to be in motion. The world opens doors for people who knock consistently, who act with intention, who live with urgency, who refuse to waste their potential by postponing their purpose. Your future depends on what you do today, not what you tell yourself you'll do someday. Intention is nothing without action. Belief is nothing without discipline. Time is nothing without urgency. And your dreams are nothing without the decision to finally get up, step forward, and take the action required to bring them to life. Everything we've talked about comes down to one undeniable truth: your time is your life. And how you use it determines everything: your success, your happiness, your impact, your legacy. You have been given this one life, this one chance, this one opportunity to rise, to create, to become. Every wasted moment is a moment you will never get back, and every disciplined action is a step closer to the life you were meant to live. Stop giving in to hesitation, fear, and distraction. Stop postponing your dreams and start honoring your time as the precious resource it is. Embrace urgency, embrace action, and embrace the responsibility to build your life with purpose. Because in the end, it is not the time you have, but the choices you make with it that define your story. The question is simple: will you waste it, or will you rise? Choose to rise.